know him, you've definitely heard about him. And his real name is actually Glenn, which maybe you recognize, maybe you don't, but you'll definitely recognize the name Godfather. So,
Godfather.
Godfather, thank you so much for being here. It's great to be able to see you and to have you be a part of the live stream tonight. How are things going?
Everything is fantastic.
As it always is,
As
yes.
it always is, Now everything is good, It's a pleasure to be here, to see you and talk with you again, Um, I think we're going to have quite a bit of fun tonight, And let me just give a quick shout out to what she says, the most amazingest, which I don't think is a word, daughter-in-law in the world. So, BJ,
Okay.
welcome to be here with us.
All right. Well, welcome. It's so great that she's here too.
Yeah.
So, now is that a daughter-in-law that I've met at one of your parties, or?
Yes, yes. You actually met her when you were here Memorial Day of last year.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
know,
Well,
so
if some of you may have attended, Godfather, he has two big barbecues a year that he used to talk about on when we used to broadcast on television, and then also just with the cruises and such, and on social media. And I've always had the invite, and I've taken him up on it twice. It's always a
mhm,
good time, a lot of laughs. And what I've learned is, if you end up leaving hungry, it's your own damn fault.
yes.
So, all right. Well, we'll let a few more people jump in here, Glenn. Give us like a minute and a half download about you, about watches, and about Invicta.
Okay. Well, I've been into watches as a whole. I received my very first watch when I was 5, and received my very first pocket watch when I was 7. And that's when the name Godfather started back then. Uh, I got into Invicta. I bought my very first Invicta in 1981. Excuse me, 1991, September 8th, which was my birthday. And I've been a avid collector of Invicta since then. I do have other brands, but Invicta seems to be at the top of my list.
Mhm.
Right now, uh, with the amount of watches that I've given away and the amount of watches that my kids and grandkids have I've stunned it with, they've taken. I have approximately 389 Invictus right now. And of course, one of my goals was to get at least 50. I wanted to fill a 50 slot dive case up with Invicta pocket watches. I'm one short.
Oh, okay. One short. And
One
here's the
short.
thing. Glenn talked about 389 watches. I can vouch for that. I've been to his house. He showed me his collection, how he organizes and stores the watches, his watch winders, and everything else. And I think you said too, Glenn, that sometimes some of the family, they'll say that they like this watch and they want to wear it for a while, and they're like, well, okay, you can. And I can't remember if you get them back or not, or maybe it depends on the watch.
About it depends on the watch, but about I
Yeah.
want to say about 70 to 80% of the time I don't get the watch back, So, but it's the fact that they wanted to wear it and they enjoy wearing it, it's gifted to a good home.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good. Well, I genuinely appreciate you being here. I appreciate being a great friend of mine. Glenn actually came with a couple other collectors up to Minnesota a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
Hosted them at my place for what 3 4 nights, and we
Yep.
got to go on set. You guys got to be part of the show. We went to Paisley Park,
Yeah.
Prince's place, and eat a lot of laughs and maybe a beer or two over that time.
Yes.
So, or a cocktail. So
Yes.
yeah. So we have a great friendship, and I truly enjoy having you here on the
Mm.
live stream here tonight, Glenn. So, all right.
Again, it's my pleasure. I look forward to talking with you and hanging out with you, and this puts a face to a name that people who know the name now they get to see the face, and they'll be able to enjoy the show a whole lot more.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get started here. I didn't look at any of the comments yet. Let me just check out the comments really quick.
Hmm.
Jerry Jones is here. WJ, that means Watch Junkie is here
Junkie, yep.
also. Let's see.
I got.
Mark is here. Hello, Mark. And Tim Shaw says hello to
Hmm.
both of us. and Sandy Glover. Oh, Sandy's like, hey fellas, I want to see some watches. I have a
Yeah.
question. I have a question, Godfather. Felix is here. Does Felix ever call you by the wrong name or type it wrong? Because every show he misspells my name. He always wants to have a B in front of my name, so it's a Brian.
Right. No, no, he has never called me by the wrong name. He has used what I call my government name, call me Glenn, every, now and then and stuff like that. I
Hmm.
don't have a problem with that. But, I tell people, even people in my family call me Godfather, so
Yeah.
I tell
Do
people, you
you,
say, who are you?
I don't think I told you this, but in July, I am actually attending what's called a Ryan meetup in Minneapolis.
Mm,
There's a bar called Cowboy Jack's, and they're going to rename
mm.
it Cowboy Ryan's for the afternoon. And it's
Oh,
only Ryan's. You can't go if your name is Brian. And then
oh,
if you want, you can actually buy into a Twins game and you get to sit in a special section with only Ryans. And then you get to actually march around the field before the game starts. Apparently, there are these Ryan meetups all around the nation. And so
wow.
there's one
Okay.
coming to Minneapolis here in another month and a half, 2 months. So
Right, right.
pretty funny stuff. Okay, well let's get on here, and then Godfather, just be sure to call out anything. Here's one call out here too. Rick and Lisa is here also. Thank you, Rick and Lisa, for being a
Mhm,
part of everything. There is a coupon code, so write that coupon code down. It is May for the month wind up, which is this show WINDUP 20, and that will
mhm.
save you 20% off your purchases of $99 or more. And I believe that I think it might qualify for every watch tonight. I know I mean, all the watches are
Yeah.
excellently priced, like Shop HQ always does for Invicta and the other brands.
Hmm.
So definitely take advantage of the coupon codes. So anything else from you, Godfather, before we start?
No, no, you said it all. You got all the people that's here right now. I see a couple of extra people, Phil, Jesse, that had just come up in here and everything like that. So welcome in, and I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's kick things off. And we're going to kick for the very first watch. We're going to start off with something that is iconic to Invicta. And so, what we have here, it's the Speedway. Now, the Speedway, we have another one during the course of the live stream. It looks
Mhm,
completely different. But with this variation, we're really going back to the original design that came out
mhm,
in the 90s and really was going side by side with the Pro Diver collection that Invicta had. And so here we go. We're looking at that 39 40 millimeter design. This is the only color choice that we have. So it's called the color choice here on this version. Let me just double check. I think it's just considered to be black, but you
right.
have the pink accents that go along with the watch here. And I won't talk too much about it because I want Glenn to get his take on it. I mean, technically, it's called the charcoal, but we're looking at a more conservative size here. We'll get into more depth on that. Now, the regular retail price on this watch is the only color version that's available, $495. Shop HQ whacked that down 80% down to $99.99. Guess
Mm,
what? That coupon code qualifies. That may wind up 20, which will take another $20 off this watch, bring it all the
mhm.
way down to that 79.99 mark. All right. Well, Godfather, why
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
you say whatever you want about the watch? What strikes you? What do you like about it? And do you have some speedways?
Yes, I do have a couple of speedways, a little bit bigger in case size, but this here, 39.5 inches, 40 inch, 40 millimeters is a great size, for both men and women. I love the pink accents. It gives me um, the Miami vibe that they had on some of their watches back in the day. So I love that pink. And yes, real men can wear pink. So don't get that, misunderstood. I love the design. I love the tachometer scale on the outside ring. I think some people call it tachyometer. I love the black, and the pink. The pink sets off that black, and it just sits out just right to make things a little bit more contrast and stands out a little bit better. The bracelet, the black bracelet. I love how you have the polished finish in the center. Okay, and then you have the brush finish on the ends and stuff like that. That is, very unique to itself. I mean, I like that style. It's better than having the all polish. It gives it a much more unique look, and it stands out a little bit more because people will look at it. And one of the things people might say, "Hey, is your watch fading?" No, that's just the way it's made. And the movement in it, you're looking at a beautiful movement. You know, show the back. I
Yeah.
think it's just a plain ordinary back on this one here. But of course, listen, you got that solid case back, which gives you everything you need to know about the watch. So if you want to know, hey, well, what's my model number? It's on the back. Is it water resistance? Well, hey, you have 100-meter water resistance there. So it gives you your story on the watch. And as you can see, Ryan has it on his wrist. Doesn't look small, So this is a watch like $99, 20% off, $79. What can I say? You might as well get the watch. Everybody's looking at it. I know there's a bunch of people out there looking at that watch. Some people may have been a little skeptical about the pink, you know, and trust me, I do have a few black watches that have pink accents. Beautiful. It just sets it off just right. And there's nothing wrong with those two colors together.
I agree. And the thing is, in my opinion, if you wear pink, you're not going to lose your man card. It actually
No.
might inflate just a little bit more because it shows
Yes.
even that much more confidence. Is it for every guy? No, of course not.
No.
But I tell that story all the time when I would wear a pink tie at the network. People
Yeah.
would comment, I love your tie. Nobody gave a rat's about the other ties that I
No.
used to wear. But when I wear the pink one, yep, people
It
did.
stands
So,
out. It makes a statement, to anybody that looks at it, whether it's your tie, a jacket, or the color on the watch. It makes a statement. And to me, when you look at the Speedway in itself looks like a very, very expensive watch. Okay, the design aspects of it. But when you throw that pink accent in there, people are going to stop you every single step. You'd be lucky if you get 10 feet before 100 people stop you and ask you, what is that? Let me see that. Let me see that. So,
yeah. Hold on one second, Glenn. I just want to make sure my camera is. You're going to just cover it up for 1 second. I just want to make sure
mhm.
that I didn't smudge it. So,
No,
and maybe it's the two different cameras that might not quite getting the good focus like I typically do on a live stream,
right, right.
but you guys should be
It,
able
it
to see
seems,
this pretty well.
yeah, it just seems to be back focusing like on your shirt and stuff. So,
Yeah,
but your hands seem to be in focus. So that's a little
yeah,
unusual.
yeah. I know. That's okay. I mean, you can really see what it looks like. So I like the weight on the timepiece here too.
Mhm.
And in terms of wrist sizes, this watch will fit up to. I did a little bit measure with
Mm,
Anthony's Invicta Claws. He
right.
loves it when
Love
I
that cone. Yep.
bring out the big cone. And I did earlier, and we're looking at about 8.5 inches in
Yep.
terms of wrist sizes on this watch. So let me just let's see if there are any comments here, Glenn. I have to put on my readers because the font is too small here. Anything about this watch?
Oh yeah, people are. Navy Doc says he loved the black and pink Miami style. Sandy Glover, classic and classy with an update of pink accents, a beauty. Uh, Christopher White says love that Speedway. Watch Junkie, nice looking piece. Jerry Jones says Ryan, remember pink is also the color for breast cancer awareness.
Yep,
Yep,
that's right. October. Yep.
yep, yep, yep. So that'd be a good watch for if somebody's looking to represent. That would be a good watch. And I mean,
Yeah.
$79 with that 20% off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I have a. I'll just say a very very close family member that is a breast cancer survivor
mhm,
herself. So. Yep.
yep. Yeah, I have a couple in my family as well. So the
Yeah.
watch itself, like I said, Speedway, beautiful watch, the accent colors, the black, and I mean the black ionic plating. I have watches that have the ionic plating, the black, that's been on there for a couple of decades. So,
Yeah.
this is not going to wear off. It's not going to fade on you. It's not going to, all of a sudden start wearing and you see the stainless steel underneath it. So,
Right.
Invicta has, when they do their ionic plating, it's, in my opinion, a great quality, and it's something that you would pay an arm and a leg for to have done with some of these other companies.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you take it to a belt sander or a grinder for a while, yeah, it's going to come
Yeah,
off. I mean,
yeah, of
just as
course.
anything would, right? Unless it was
Yep,
solid. But yeah, I really believe that the plating process from Invicta is just one of the superior ways to be able to do it in the watch industry. So
yep,
yeah.
yep. I agree.
All right. Well, let's move on. We're going to go on to something totally different, and that's one of the things I do really enjoy about Invicta.
Mhm.
Is one second, I left one little sticker on. Oh, that's fine. So there's such a there's so much diversity when it comes to Invicta. We have a Speedway. This is classic right here. But
Mhm.
then we have a Coalition Forces, which is going to be just a completely different size.
Right.
You can see just like from here too, we have a silicone strap as opposed to a bracelet. Four different
Hmm.
movements are going to be in this watch. And I mean, this is something I think is really cool. Coalition Forces is really a military inspiration
Hmm.
when it comes to the collection out there. So you can see it's a little bit more in a combat color here, more of that
Right.
brown along with the black. There's usually not too much high polish that goes along with the Coalition Forces because
Hmm.
if something's high polished, it might give away your position. You can even
Correct.
see from some of the font that's on the inside here of the watch. So, in terms of for this offer, this is the only color version that's available right now.
Hmm.
And what we're looking at is a regular MSRP. Let me just change this out really quick. There's a different setup. So let me just see how it. Oh, Harry actually did it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So this watch is now live here. And so the regular MSRP is $1,095. Shop HQ took that down 83%, down to $184.99. Now that coupon code is going to be good for this watch. So if you take 18 and a half and times that by two, we're looking at $37,
Yeah.
which
Hey,
will
Ryan.
take off. We use that coupon code,
Yeah, Ryan.
which yeah.
Yeah, the watch is not 184. It is 159.99.
Oh, when I went on just a little bit earlier, okay,
Hmm.
great. Because I saw that and there were a couple others that were at a lower price. So I'm glad that must have just been updated just before the show. So what is it, Glenn? Is it 150?
159.99.
Okay, let me just double check here. Okay, I got 184.99. Let me just refresh it. Mm, this particular color, it's going to be the gunmetal. This version
Oh, okay.
shows on the website 184.99.
Yeah, it
There,
sure does. But I mean,
yep.
so
Yeah, so we're looking at then $37 off brings this watch with four different movements and under that $150 mark. So
yeah, yeah.
okay, well here, Glenn, go for it here. What's your take on this timepiece?
Well, the coalition forces for the military, people in the military or people who have been in the military, will love a
And
watch like this. You got your four different time zones, which is very good for somebody in the military that does a lot of traveling. It can also be good for people who have not been in the military but still do a lot of traveling. You can set this to four different time zones and pretty much forget it. You just have to remember which clock you're looking at, or which part of the watch you're looking at, and where you go. And also, people who have people in other states, other countries, you can use this for that as well. I love the khaki color. I love the silicone strap on there. The khaki and the black, it just sort of blends together, and it does give that military influence on this one. Um, the little notches or the little runners, yeah,
yeah,
I
the
mean,
elements here into the strap.
yeah, I love that accent on that and everything like that. It just the knurling on the ends and stuff like that. Very good. It's almost as though it's like on a gear. It looks the way it sits on it that you can roll it and it would just roll up on that. So that's pretty nice. It's unique and unusual, and it sets it out. It sets the tone for that.
Yeah, I
So
agree. And then, I mean, you have the four different time zones. I have to just double check here. Yes, it says the different zones. So, in
yep.
order for the watch to have four different movements on the inside, you have to have four different
Four different.
crowns. So,
Mhm.
over here at the 9 o'clock position, that is the crown right here for, I believe, zone number three. Then at the very top is going to be zone number one, in which this is the
Hmm.
crown for zone number two, and then right here for zone number four down at the bottom. Now, zone
Right.
number, let's see, zone number 1 and 4, you're going to have actually a perpetual second hand that's a part of that movement.
Hmm.
And these are all quartz movements. And then zones 2 and 3 at both 3 and 9 o'clock are going to be then two-hand movements. Now, something else that Glenn and I were talking about that we really like about this watch, I'm going to turn the watch around here. Look at
Look at that
this.
back.
That's something you don't see too often, is a quartz movement timepiece with
What?
an exhibition window on the back. What do you think about
Hmm.
that, Glenn?
That's beautiful. You get to look inside and see the movements of that, see the batteries, and with four different movements in this, you also have four different batteries. So make sure, folks, when you go to change your battery, or if you have somebody changing batteries for you, make sure to change the correct battery for the one that's not moving.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
love the green tint on the background of that, on the back of that. Again, more of that military inspired inspiration and everything like that. And I like with the green tint, and you see the silver on the inside. It's almost giving that what we call a BDU, or battle dress uniform flair, with the intertwine of the colors and everything like that. Yeah. And again, the case back on this does tell a story about your watch. So
Yeah.
you get
And
the newbies that uh, just getting into watches and stuff like that. Like my brother, he always, somebody would ask him, so wait a minute, what you got on? That's an Invicta. What kind of Invicta is that? And he would turn to me to ask about the watch. So for that, there you got your story on the back of the watch. It tells you the name of the watch, the model number, the water resistance. So you get a lot of information on the back of these watches that people are a little unaware of. So
right. And if your brother was sleeping in public and people were asking
yes.
about the watches, then they just go directly to you. They bypass him,
Correct.
correct?
Yes, he has a habit of doing that quite often. Get in a good spot and he'll just zonk out. So
Yeah, so this is an inside joke between the two of us. It was on, was it the first Invicta cruise or the first one we
no,
met
it
on?
was on I think it was the 19th or the 2019.
Okay. Well, yeah, your brother was on, and
Yeah.
you guys were in the cafeteria, or in
Yep.
the where everybody was eating, and I think his brother was just worn out, and
Yep.
so did I take a selfie with him?
Yes. Yes. You did. You did.
And he was still sleeping.
He was still asleep. And then
So
when
did you tell your brother? Oh, you got to. We all met Ryan. We saw Ryan.
yep.
He's like, no,
Yep.
you didn't. And then you showed him a photo of him
Yep.
and
Yep.
me.
Exactly. Exactly. He looked at that. He said, I said, man, you miss Ryan. I mean, he was up here, And
Yeah.
I said, he took a picture with you. He said, no, he didn't. I showed him the picture. He looked at it and says, well, damn.
That's good. Whenever I see him, I do remind him, of course, because
Yep,
that's
yep, yep.
part of my job.
And he
All right.
enjoys that too.
Oh, let me just really quick. I wrote down what size wrist this fits. So, 50 millimeters by 17 millimeters on this. You get the four different movements on the inside, 100 meters of water resistance, and when I measure with the comb rule, again, anywhere from about a 6 to a 9 inch wrist size
Hmm.
with this watch. So, all right. Well, let's go through a couple comments here, Glenn. We got to keep moving on. We have
Yep, yep.
Rick and Lisa said that's sharp. Godfather, you got that right. Oh, that's more of the Speedway. So, okay, here we go. Let's see. Juan is here. Thank you, Juan,
Yeah.
for being here tonight. He got here a little bit late.
Yeah.
Uh, is there a gunmetal dial? Can't see it. There are another couple of versions on the website. This particular one, it's a gunmetal case one, but it's
Mm.
a brown dial. And there are some other options, I believe, on the website if you're interested. It's just not
Right.
underneath this specific item number. So,
Hmm.
okay.
The Navy
Well,
doc says says, is that like a desert sand color or more of a taupe? So it to me it's more of a desert sand.
there you go. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Juan is saying, right down his lane with that watch there. And Victor Claus, it does need several batteries when replacing. Uh, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect.
Anthony says, Godfather, be careful with Ryan's measuring cone. He's his lethal weapon. I'll
Anthony,
make
next
sure
time
that.
I see you, whack you over the head with this. It's not going to hurt, but okay. And Godfather, thank you for your service to our country. So appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We're going to move on here to the next timepiece. And so we're going to go with this second. Yeah, this is going to be the next Speedway of the night. So we had our
Yep.
first Speedway. Very classic design. This is the first watch. This was $99.99. Use that coupon code May MAY wind up 20. You're going to save 20% off. Bring this watch down under $80. Classic Speedway, men and women alike. This watch is also from the Speedway collection.
Mm-hmm.
So completely different. And that's one of the many things I admire about Invicta is just the diversity, even within a particular collection itself. Invicta typically doesn't stay with one design. They go along with many, many different designs here. And
Correct.
so this watch, regular retail price is $1,195. Shop HQ brought it down 90%, Godfather, down to $114.99.
Mm.
And then if you use that coupon code May wind up 20, you're going to save another, let's see, it'll be another 20 and another $3 off, $23 off. So it's going to be just a little bit over that $90 mark here to get into this watch. You're going to get a 3-year warranty that goes along. 3 different color choices are currently available on the website. This, which I have here, is yellow. There's black, which looks a lot like combat black. That means everything is going to be black or gunmetal or gray. And
Right.
there's also a red variation. Godfather, what sticks out with this watch right away for you?
What sticks out on it is the twisted metal grid that you have within the subdials there. I like that unique feature because it again is something that Invicta does. It causes their watches to stand out. They like to make unique dials by putting that in there. 50 millimeters, big watch. Is it for a man? Some women will wear it as well.
Yep.
Love the silicone strap on it, that yellow silicone strap. Now, if I had to choose colors, while I love that yellow, I think the color that I would choose would probably be the red. You know,
Okay.
I just like the red and the black just going together. So the black, if you want a more combat look, then that black is definitely the way to go. But this one here, this yellow, it's yellow. I mean, look at it. You have that yellow right now, and you're
Yeah.
wearing a red shirt, and it just stands out. So therefore, no matter what color shirt you're wearing, that yellow watch is going to stand out. It's going to draw attention to it. Again, people are going to be
Yeah.
pulling you over.
Look
Says,
at
well, wait a minute, what is that? What is that?
that's boring.
Yeah,
Boom. Look at that.
look at that excitement all the way. Yeah,
Exactly. I agree with you on this. And so, yeah, fun, exciting, dynamic color. But again, any of the other color choices, I mean, so many people like the black, they might want to go with that combat look, or
hmm
the red is Godfather's talking about, red I'm wearing right now, or this is that Invicta yellow. I mean, it almost looks like the
yeah,
watch is plugged in right now with that
yeah,
strap.
yeah, yeah. It just
I mean,
almost,
it's not, but
yeah,
but yeah, I like what you start off with, Godfather. You're talking about, and I think this is probably about the right distance, at least with our setup right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Everything looks pretty crisp and clear. You get that twisted metal design, which is that cage design within each one of the 3 different subdials for that VD54 from Time Module Inc. So
hmm
you have a 24-hour scale at that 3 o'clock subdial, chronograph seconds at the 6 o'clock subdial, and the chronograph minutes at the
Right.
9 o'clock subdial. And there is a date of the month between that 4th and 5th hour
hmm
marker. Wrist sizes on this watch, we're looking between that 6 1/4 actually, which is pretty impressive, all the way to a 9-inch wrist. So you get about 2 3/4 of an inch right here just on that strap. And I
hmm
like the comfort. You can see how this watch contours to my wrist with
Yes,
how the
yeah.
lugs will drop down. The design of the strap is molded perfectly to fit into this lug system, and there isn't
hmm
any gapping that goes along with it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a beautiful watch. If you want to get some extra color out there, I mean, this is definitely one of the versions that at least we're presenting. But go to Shop HQ, check out the other Invicta timepieces, the
Hmm.
other watches also. And you guys have been actually putting up the reviews. We appreciate the reviews on shophq.com. If you make a purchase, if you can put a review up there, we would love to be able to see it. And I forgot, give Shop HQ a follow, which is on Shop HQ here on Instagram, on Facebook, on
Hmm.
YouTube. Sign up for their text alerts, sign up for their email alerts. Follow me. I am the.ryan.code on Instagram, on X. I'm Invicta Ryan on Facebook. And Glenn, how can people find you?
Well, they can find me on Facebook using my name, Glenn Belton. Okay, I can
Okay.
be found on Instagram as Godfather underscore 9855. And that's about, I mean, while I am on X, I don't really participate on X that much, but Instagram and on Facebook, a lot of people find me there and everything like that. Uh, every, there will be people out there who will say, "We can't find you, we can't find you," but then come to Cookout, they can find me. So
Yeah. There you go.
yeah.
Well, very good. All right.
Now,
Well,
one
we
thing I
have.
like about that watch there, 50
Yeah.
millimeter. Okay. What I really like about it is you got 6 3/4 inch wrist. Somebody can have a 6.5 inch wrist and it
Yeah.
still will not be overbearing on their wrist. The band
No, we're
and
good.
the lugs and everything like that will turn
Two
around.
notches
Yeah.
left.
And the case will not look big on your wrist. The lugs are not going to stick way out past your wrist when somebody's wearing like that. So yeah.
Yep. Two sliding keepers on this, so you can just have that strap, then just go down all the way.
Yep.
Keep it nice on the wrist. All right. Well, we have one more watch, and this is an exciting timepiece too. I have to do. Glenn, look at all the hearts you're getting. You're getting more hearts in a minute than I get during a whole live stream.
Uh, I
Yeah.
think they might be for you and the watches, and for
Okay.
Harry. You guys are doing a great job.
Well, Harry holds the record.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 1,300 or something. I posted on my Instagram story. It was
Mhm.
actually like 7,000 something.
Wow.
And I know Invicta Claus was a big participant in that. I think he had to put his finger in a splint for a few days, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, we're gonna go with the last watch here, and this is going to be from the Pro Diver collection again. Now, this is a little bit of a different design for the Pro Diver,
Mhm.
but what this watch actually has is it has the DNA of, if you know, the Grand Pro Diver. The Grand Pro
Mhm.
Diver, which actually had this very unique strap design
Strap.
that
Yep.
came down from a 52 millimeter, more of like a donut shaped or a UFO shaped case that had a higher profile of like
Right.
20 millimeters.
Yep.
And with the bezel, you can see, and even with the Arabic numerals, I mean, if you know that watch or you have a Grand Pro Diver, this is extremely cool because it's just done in more that tonneau shaped case or that barrel shaped
Hmm.
case for this variation. Now, the only color choice is this pink. And so what we're looking at is considered to be called officially, oops, sorry about that, the 51 millimeter Pro Diver quartz chronograph pink dial tonneau silicone strap watch. Regular retail price $895. Sale price $134.99. It's 85% off, and so that would be 13. So that'd be $27 off. So you're looking at about $108 if
Hmm.
you use that coupon code May Wind Up 20. The only color choice is going to be what was referred to as pink for the dial. So yet again, there's another opportunity for the guys to flex that confidence out there, or
Yep.
for the women to get into something that has that special color.
Yep, exactly, exactly. And again, like I said, you can't go wrong with the pink on there, the pink dial. Again, it stands out, especially with the black. You got the black accents, the black subdials, so it gives the watch a little bit more depth and more appeal to a lot of folks. The to know shape, beautiful shape on there. And as you said, the Grand Pro Diver. I love the bezel on the Grand Pro Diver, and they sort of just use the same style bezel on this. It's just made it into no shape. So of course, the bezel does not rotate on this. So folks, no, this is not a rotating bezel, but you still have more of that. Again, Miami style, Miami edition, uh, the Miami racing style. The watch is a beautiful watch. The silicone strap, you know, I believe this will go up, as Ryan said, probably to about 8.5 inch. Look at that. Look how supple, and look at the very what they call the Invicta contour. That they got a patent on that particular contour. That way, when you have the watch on and you got it in the keepers, it sits flat up against the strap. It doesn't stick out, so you don't have to worry about getting it caught on something. So, a beautiful watch. 51 millimeters.
Yep.
While you're looking at it, people might say, well, 51 is big, but you got to look at the style and the shape of the watch to be able to understand that the watch itself, even though 51 millimeters, when you put it on your wrist, it will wear a little bit smaller.
All right. So we're looking at probably, well, there we go. Is that reading 50? I can't
That's
quite.
inches. It looks like it's in
Oops.
inches.
Sorry, 2.0. So everything's reversed. So I'm just
Yeah.
trying to, here we go.
Yep. So 51.1.
Yep. Crystal is going to be at its widest point,
Yep.
34, 35.
34.9. Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going crystal north to south. Actually, the crystal,
It's the same.
it's the same width,
Yep.
but as it is height wise, but it just is in that Tonneau shaped case. For
Yep.
going for just the bezel on the top of the watch, the widest spot, we're looking at what, 51 again?
51. Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, so we're getting the same. And then the overall profile we're looking at right here is at 12 and a half.
15.2.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
So yeah, this is exciting. I think I might have presented one of these before, but
Hmm.
it's just something totally different out there. But you can easily see that same DNA that's a part of this watch, from that
Right.
Grand Pro Diver into this timepiece here.
Yeah, go ahead and put it on your wrist there. I think
Okay.
people, because 51 millimeters, people would think 51 millimeters is big, 50 millimeters is big. But when you have it on your wrist there, they can actually be able to get a better picture of how big the watch really is.
Mhm.
And I mean, for me, I do have some watches that are over,
Okay.
50 millimeters and stuff like that. So my standard go-to watch is like 52 millimeters, and that was the Reserve Grand Diver that they had out in 2017, with the Salida movements in it. So, I mean, but you look at it, you look how well it fits on your wrist, how it wears on your wrist and everything like that. So that is something that somebody can wear, and as an everyday wearer, you don't have to save it for special events. It can be worn every day. And because of the coloring and everything like that, you could wear this with a suit and stand out.
Yeah.
You know,
Why
you
not?
wearing
I
a
mean,
yeah, wearing a suit with a pink tie. You throw your pink watch on. People, hey, you're coordinating.
mhm. Yeah. I mean, it's a bigger watch, but I have a smaller wrist. I am on the last notch. So we're looking
Hmm.
at about that 6.75 inch wrist,
Right.
up to about that 9 inch wrist here with this
Mhm.
timepiece. So yeah, I love it. I love the color. I love the unique design that goes along with it here, just for that Grand Pro Diver out there. And then of
Mhm.
course, I mean the pink. In my opinion, you just really can't go wrong. So
Right, right. And
yeah.
Sandy's asking, is it a comfortable fit? Ryan has it on
Oh
his
yeah.
wrist. I've had that style with the silicone strap. Silicone strap is very
Yep.
comfortable to wear, and people know me to where my saying is, if she slaps me in the face, I'm going to buy it. So I have quite a few watches with the silicone strap, very comfortable to wear. I've worn it in the heat and in the cold. I'm not sweating. I'm not freezing or anything like that. So very comfortable to
Mhm.
wear.
Well, and you do have 389 Invicta watches, Glenn. So you've been smacked in the face 389 times, and you
Yes.
still look very, very
Yeah.
handsome. So
If you want to get technical, I've been smacked in the face close to 500 times, and unfortunately the other, 111 watches I just can't get back. So
yeah, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. All right, well, final thoughts on this timepiece, and then also just with the live stream, Glenn.
The live stream is great. The watches, this particular watch right here, again, love the silicone strap. I love the Tonneau shape of the case. I love the pink dial. It's a beautiful watch and a very comfortable watch all the way around. The live stream, you guys are doing a phenomenal job with these live screens, and being able to get a collector, like Anthony was on, before and stuff like that. To have me on is a privilege to be on with you, to be able to discuss these watches and to give our take on these watches, so people will know. Okay, so you say something in the chat, people say, well, he's just talking. But now you can see my face and understand I have a love for, for these watches, not
Yeah.
just Invicta, but I have a love for watches as a whole. And, I've always said this, a lot of watch companies do it as well, but Invicta makes a very good quality, a high quality product at an affordable price. And Invicta has so many different styles, and sizes ranging from 17 millimeters all the way up to, 65, 70 millimeters. So if you are looking for a watch and you're looking at Invicta and you really can't find a watch, then you're not really looking for a watch, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Well,
Mm.
it's so much fun, as I mentioned too. We love customer feedback. We're just trying
Mhm.
to incorporate the customer more. Felix mentioned too, he really looks forward to the live streams because it's
Yeah,
keeping the community together, and
correct,
we
correct.
generally appreciate that. And if you're watching right now and you want to be where this guy is right over here, you want to join one of the shows, send me an email at invictacollectors@gmail.com. Invicta Collectors, that's plural with an S,
Mhm.
at gmail.com, and say, Ryan, I'd love to be on the show. You have to send me your real name, your phone number, and what brands, because we do other brands besides
Yeah,
Invicta on here. You can say, oh, I only feel comfortable with Invicta, or I like Deep Blue and Technomarine, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, it really, you don't
mhm.
have to be super familiar with the brand because you already know the components. Like, I like the
Correct.
strap because the strap is like this, or the movement and everything else. So
Mhm.
we would love to have more and more of you be a part of this. I truly enjoy it. I get to have a little bit of conversation instead of just listening to myself the whole time. It's nice to have another voice that's going on. I mean, I read your comments and everything too, but it's fun to have a little bit of a banter and just a cohesion also when a guest is actually on live with us. So
Yes, yes, and and the banter back and forth, getting the collectors take on the watch, live. Then in other words, you're looking at the watch. I can see the watch. Uh, yes, I have watch knowledge, but to actually give my take, not just the knowledge that I have on the piece, but most people are not looking for the knowledge. They're just looking for more than just the description of the watch. Tell me about the watch. Hey, that pink dial is stunning, and they can see it, how it stands out. Because some people might be on the fence with pink, some people might be on the fence with yellow. But when you
yeah.
look at these watches and you listen to the collectors talk, we will tell you we all have a bunch of watches in all different variations, styles and sizes and colors. So trust us, we would not be buying these colors if it wasn't something that we enjoy.
Yeah. Very well said, my friend. So thank you so much. And thank you all for being a part here of the live stream here tonight. The
Yep, yep.
next live stream is actually going to be this coming Wednesday, and that will be the 6th of May. And that will also be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And then for those of you who've been jumping over to TikTok, follow Shop HQ on TikTok. It's not actually Shop HQ on TikTok, it's
Right.
Shop HQ Official. You can
Hmm.
follow Shop HQ, just that name on TikTok. There are like 2 followers. That's not the official account. So it's Shop HQ Official on TikTok. And I'll be on, I think it's at, oops. Oh, are you still there, Glenn?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay. I just accidentally, here we go. There we go. So I'll be on. Let me just double check the time. I think it's also 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and
Right,
then on Friday it will be at 11 a.m. Eastern also. So those
right.
will be a little bit longer live streams if you want to be a
Mhm.
part of that. So, well, I'll make another mention here coming up this Wednesday on this
Yep,
live
yep.
stream right here about the next 2 TikTok shows.
Mhm.
So, all right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, my friend. Great to see you now. When
Yeah.
talking and texting, but it's always good to see you, and
Yes, sir. It's
really
always good to see
appreciate you
you.
so much, Godfather, in so many different ways, and most importantly, as a great friend. And thank you for being a part here tonight and helping us out at Shop HQ with your great take on everything.
It's my pleasure. And like again, I love being here. I love talking about watches because it's something that I love to do. And I love giving people information and giving them an education so that they will be better informed to be able to pick out the watches that they love. You know, buy what you love what you buy. You can never go wrong with that.
I like that. Buy what you love and love what you buy. All right.
Yeah.
We'll end on that. I might use that once or twice moving forward here. So
Yes.
all right. Well, thank you, everybody. We will see you then this coming Wednesday, May 5th at 7:30 p.m. right here on Shop HQ. Go ahead, check out those cards, use that coupon code, and let's see those reviews too. All right. Have a good night, Glenn.
You too.
Okay. Bye now, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.